How's it going, YouTube?
Hey YouTubers!
What's up, YouTube?
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube?
My name is Egypt.
My name is Stephanie.
My name is Nin.
My name is Min.
My name is Kevin.
My name is Brandon Demondon.
And today, we'll be telling you about the benefits
And today we'll be telling you the benefits
Of a high protein.
Of having a high protein,
Low carb.
low carbohydrate.
with low-fat diet.
and low-fat diet.
Based on the article, Dietary Protein and Skeletal Health, a review of recent human research. Both dietary calcium and vitamin D are beneficial to skeletal health. So many epidemiological studies have found a significant positive relationship between protein intake and bone mass or density. Isotopic studies in humans have also demonstrated greater calcium retention and absorption by individuals consuming high-protein diets. Intake may positively impact bone health by several mechanisms, including calcium absorption, stimulation of the secretion of insulin like growth factor, and enhancement of lean body mass. The concept that an increase in dietary protein induces a large enough shift in systemic pH to increase osteoclastic bone resorption seems untenable. Recent studies suggest that dietary protein works synergistically with calcium to improve calcium retention and bone metabolism. The recommendation to intentionally restrict dietary protein to improve bone health is unwarranted and potentially even dangerous to those individuals who consume inadequate protein.
In the article Dietary and Protein Intake by Guo Wu, he studied the effects of essential and non-essential amino acids. He found that if one consumes enough essential amino acids, their protein intake can be as low as 62 grams a day, opposed to 120 grams a day as recommended for adults. He also found out that when ingesting 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein, it can stimulate skeletal protein synthesis and is sustained for about 3 hours.
A high-protein diet for reducing body fat mechanisms and possible caveats by Dominic H. Pesai et al. High-protein diets are increasingly popularized in lay media as a promising strategy for weight loss by providing the twin benefits of improving satiety and decreasing fat mass. Some of the potential mechanisms that account for weight loss associated with high-protein diets involve increased secretion of satiety hormones, GIP, GLP-1, reduced orexigenic hormone secretion, ghrelin, the increased thermic effect of food, and protein-induced alterations in glucogenesis to improve glucose homeostasis. There are, however, also possible caveats that have to be considered when choosing to consume a high-protein diet. A high intake of branched-chain amino acids in combination with the Western diet might exacerbate the development of metabolic disease. A diet high in protein can also pose a significant acid load to the kidneys. Lastly, when energy demand is low, excess protein can be converted to glucose via glucogenesis or ketone bodies and contribute to a positive energy balance, which is undesirable if weight loss is the goal.
In the article Protein Requirements for Endurance Athletes by Mark Tarnowski, he studied protein metabolism in endurance athletes. He found out that those who train light to moderate intensity, it doesn't really affect their dietary protein requirements. This is probably due to the carbohydrate sparing effects and increased fat oxidation. Protein requirements went up 20 to 24% only in the well-trained athletes who train 4 to 5 times a week and for longer than 60 minutes.
A research article titled A High-Protein Diet with Resistive Exercise Training Improves Weight Loss and Body Composition in Overweight and Obese Patients with Type 2 Diabetes by Thomas Wycherley et al. Looked at the effects of a high-protein diet with and without resistive training on weight loss and cardiovascular disease in overweight and obese patients with Type 2 Diabetes. 59 men and women participated in the research and were split into two groups. The control group had a standard carbohydrate diet with and without resistive training, while the research group had a high-protein diet with and without resistive training. The groups that worked on resistance training trained 3 times a week for 16 weeks. What they found at the end of the research was that both groups that had resistive training had a decreased body weight, fat mass, waist circumference, as well as blood pressure. But the group with the high-protein diet combined with resistive training seen a more significant decrease in all categories. There was also an overall decrease in cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, glucose, insulin, and triglycerides in both groups with resistive training. Based on this article, having a high-protein, low-carb diet combined with resistance training can help improve body composition as well as cardiovascular disease.
The effects of consuming a high-protein diet, 4.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day on body composition in resistance-trained individuals, by Jose Antonio. For the methods, the control group was instructed to maintain the same training and dietary habits over the course of an 8-week study. The high-protein group was instructed to consume 4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. They were also instructed to maintain the same training and dietary habits. As a result, the high-protein group consumed significantly more protein and calories pre versus post than the control group. There were no significant changes over time or between groups for body weight, fat mass, fat-free mass, or percent body fat. You can conclude that consuming 5.5 times the recommended daily allowance of protein has no effect on body composition in resistance-trained individuals who otherwise maintain the same training regimen. This is beneficial because it is difficult to consume such a high amount of protein, and it will save you some money in not having to buy so much food.